And away we go. It is the Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken, right here on BearcutJournal.com. As always, visit www.galacticfriedchicken.com. Download the app for Android, iPhone, everything Galactic. Get down to Dayton, Kentucky. They reopen. They're closed for the holiday. They'll reopen on the 12th. They are open Wednesday through Sunday, lunch and dinner. Or go to the app, get that on the website, and they will bring it right to your front door, pretty much anywhere inside the 275 loop. Hi, Aaron.
Hi, Chad.
How you doing, buddy?
Hey, we're here at Mom's, obviously Easter. So,
Yeah,
um, glad to see you are back in full capacity, not just popping in to say hi to me and Justin.
mostly. I mean, who knows what each day will bring, but
Well,
I'm here
today
today.
today is where we're at, and today
I'm here today, and it's
good
good
to
to be back.
good to see you.
And I'm holding up pretty well. It happens in waves. I'll be good for an hour, and the next thing you know, I'm crying for like 20 minutes.
Well,
Um,
keeping up with a
but
12-year-old will be quite a distraction.
you got to talk to her for about 3 minutes before this show started, and I'm in big trouble.
Yeah, well, this is a trouble of your own doing. This
Yeah.
is
Thanks, Cal.
a madness that you've created.
Thanks, honey. I always did. Here's the funny thing. I always joked that when she turned 13, I was going to disappear to like a Caribbean island for 5 years
She
and come
beat you
back.
to it.
She stole my joke.
She beat you to it.
She stole my joke. Ain't that some shit? But for everybody wondering, I'm doing all right. If you can, please hit up the GoFundMe. We're about halfway to our goal, and you know, it would be greatly appreciated if you have not done so. You can find that on the Twitter. You can find that on the website. It's out there. So we were gonna go last night. I had an impromptu fire pit Friday, and all my buddies showed up at my house and kidnapped me, and we had a grand time.
Good.
But then today, I don't think there's any way we could have avoided
Nope.
having a nightcap, because it's been a busy 36 hours or whatever.
Roughly, yeah.
We'll start off with the news from Friday that Landers Nolly has hired a non-NCAA certified agent, and he will not be coming back to Cincinnati. He will be remaining NBA draft eligible and entering into his pro career. Not a surprise if you've paid attention on Bearcat Journal. I did think, there was a chance, given the situation, that we could see him return. I think once the NBA raised the number of two-way contracts for each team, I think that probably kind of sealed the deal. I believe the minimum for a two-way contract now is $500,000.
Nice.
$500,000 not having to go to school. He does have a young daughter.
Yeah.
She's 2 or 3 years old. All of that combined, and Landers has decided to go and begin his professional career. Hell of a 1 year as a Bearcat. When we're looking back a while from now on who were those guys that had the best 1 year career as a Bearcat, Landers is going to be up that list.
He certainly entered the discussion at this point. I'm not shocked by any stretch. I don't love that he's not going to be here, but for a guy that averaged almost 17, 16.8 and almost 6 rebounds last year, Wes certainly got him to rebound. That was the highest total that he had since his freshman year in the ACC. As he matched his 5.8 at that point. Also ends up with almost 3 assists. He was everything that this team needed this past season. He was a go-to guy, and this team had struggled to find a go-to guy that could elevate in those types of situations. And more often than not, he was able to elevate, whether that meant win or lose. That's not what I'm saying here, but he was able to elevate his game to match the
Yeah.
moment more often than not.
Yeah, I mean, he shot one of the best 3-point shooters in terms of individual seasons in the history of the program. 42% on heavy volume. Had some just incredible performances from the 3-point line, and really gave Cincinnati that deep threat that everybody has asked for ages. That legit 6'6" sniper that when the ball came out of his hands, felt pretty damn good about it going in the basket. So he added some elements to his game. He struggled at times with the consistency of it, but he became a pretty good defender, especially when he was locked in. Like you said, he rebounded really well for a wing when from the second half of the season on. I think that Temple game was kind of the wake-up call.
It's a turning point for sure.
Yeah, and we'll get back to Temple in a minute.
Yeah,
kind of a wake-up call for him in terms of what he needed to do on the glass. And he genuinely looked like he really enjoyed his year in Cincinnati. He was a bit of a malcontent at a couple of his other stops at times. You never saw that here. It felt like he really enjoyed being a Bearcat and his time on the floor with his teammates here.
Yeah, I think you got that same sentiment from his thank you in what he wrote to the city, the fans, all of that, in his farewell message. As he was it the Goon Squad? So he said something Mob Squad,
Squad or something,
like
the
that.
But the Goon Squad was the bench group for whatever.
But yeah, I mean, I think you saw some love lost there, where he's going to miss these guys, and I think that they had a pretty strong bond. I think they went through enough shit together, but
for sure,
it was a fun team to watch. Landers, Nolly, we do thank you as fans. I think,
for sure,
and your presence will be missed next year. But as one door closes, other doors open.
That they do. As they had a visitor on campus Friday and Saturday, and that visitor decided to end his stay in the transfer portal and make his commitment to Cincinnati. Jamel Reynolds, who was a very productive big man for Temple a season ago, has cast his lot with Cincinnati and will be a Bearcat and give them some much needed. How long? What has it? Maybe been Trey Scott, Gary Clark, since they had a Kyle, that they had a big that they could just throw it to on the block and pretty reliably count on a bucket.
Yeah, and even those guys weren't built quite like this.
That's a good blessing and a curse at this moment. Yes,
his body style though reminds me a bit more of
Yancey.
guys like Yancey, guys like Danny Fortson, guys like Eric Hicks, thicker guys that could bang around down low, back somebody up in the post, and be the guy in control. They don't make forwards like this a whole lot anymore. Most people are trying to be out around the arc
perimeter,
and kind of trying to be the unicorn type player, a la Kristaps Porzingis and that type of guy. But this guy's built a little bit different. He's thick, and I'm excited. I think that this gets us back to, people have been clamoring to get back to 90s style Bearcat basketball, and I think this is a step in that direction.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Reynolds, I think that's important. I know a lot of people talk about his playing weight this year. It is a concern of mine. But if you go back and look early in the year, he was a lot more athletic and in shape early in the year. Trim.
Yeah.
He broke his wrist. That's going to severely limit what you can do in terms of in the weight room and your overall strength. And he was out 6 weeks. He packed on like 25 pounds from then from when he got hurt to when he returned. That hurt his stamina. That hurt his ability to stay on the floor. So I think you get him with Mike Rayfeld. And I think the other really promising thing that maybe we aren't talking about enough that we saw this year, Mike Roberts is a really, really good big man coach. And everybody in that position group developed exponentially throughout this season. And you get Reynolds for 2 years. So you get Mike Rayfeld working with him. You get Mike Roberts training him on the court. And I know I've been a little skeptical initially on Reynolds. And a lot of that being just too heavy. Like Wes wants to play an up and down style game. And you can't have a guy that bogs you down and doesn't allow you to do that consistently. But if you can play in that 250, 255 range, I do think this has the potential to be a very good pickup.
Well, in any case, last season he averaged 10.1 points, 5.4 boards, less than 1 assist per game, but he shot 60%. Of those stats, I would think the 60% would be most translatable because it's going to be playing a lot of ball with your back to the basket, backing somebody else down. And whether he loses that weight or whether he doesn't, I would still think that is still going to be a big part of his game. And I can't imagine that those 10.6 boards are necessarily going anywhere, even with the jump to the Big 12, because he's still a presence. And you pair that up with a Vic, you pair that up with an Odie, and I think you got yourself quite a nice 3-man rotation. And that's not even considering what you get out of Sage in his either redshirt freshman or sophomore season, depending on how that goes for Sage.
I just think I haven't slept all week. The other thing I would say is, I mean, we know that there's at least one spot open. I expect there to be another. I expect them to have 2 spots to fill. One with a scoring guard and one with a guy around Lander's dimensions,
a wing
that can really shoot it, a big wing. And in the Big 12, there's a lot of 4 guard, 2 guards and 2 wings, whatever. A lot of teams that play a little bit small, not smaller in size, because most of the time those guys playing the 4 are 6'7", 6'8", whatever, but they're more guards than they are big men. So if you can go find a shooter in that 6'6", 6'7" range that you can maybe slide down at times, then you're looking really, really positive at the 4 and the 5 as you spread things out.
Sure. Like I said, it just makes I think it makes the rotation now with Vic and Odie and now Jamil Reynolds sprinkle in a little bit of Sage, and you got yourself quite a big man rotation between the 4 of those guys.
Yeah, I think it's a good start. Stay tuned as we continue through the weekend. I don't think there's going to be any more significant news like we got today, but I've been dropping some hints at something on the board. If I get the okay to put that out there, then I will. But as of this moment, all I got are hints for now. So go to Bearcat Journal and you can try to decipher the code. That's about all I got. You got anything else? Baseball took 2 or 3 from Memphis, so that was good.
Oh, didn't know I hit that.
That's all right. Sorry. Baseball took 2 or 3 from Memphis. Jeff just put his story up on the baseball board, so go check that out. And other than that,
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. I would guess we'll probably not have a show tomorrow night unless something crazy happens. You're probably not heading back until later, are you?
I'll let you know.
Okay. We'll see how it goes. It's the Nightcap. Brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken. Right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya!
Good to be back.